Hey guys, Eric Huddleston here with IFAST. Today I wanted to share with you guys a short video as part of this ACL injury prevention and ACL injury awareness month that we're doing here at IFAST. And the video basically highlights 4 exercises that we might use as a progression for teaching landing mechanics. So where I want to start here is by essentially teaching from the bottom up. So Claire here, one of our high school volleyball players, is performing an exercise called the reaching plate squat. So as she goes down, she pushes this counterweight out, and what I'm looking for from the front view is essentially whether she is able to control excessive knee valgus or knee buckling, which is kind of a prerequisite and an indicator of whether or not she has enough strength to control the movement. Taking a look from the side now, what I want us to notice is how Claire controls the weight on the way down, sitting back against the counterweight and keeping her heels on the ground. And that's really what I mean by teaching the movement from the bottom up, is establishing a baseline and having her feel a position before we add any kind of dynamic component to it. Now, once I'm comfortable that she understands what the movement feels like and is strong enough to keep her knees out of valgus, I'm going to incorporate an exercise called the drop squat. So what she's doing here is she's starting with her feet right under her shoulders and dropping into an athletic position. Now, when we transition to the side view, you're going to see that she does allow her knee to drift forward a little bit more than we did with the reaching plate squat, but that she's still able to control that shift in her body weight and keep her chest up and have a nice soft landing at the end of this while adding a very low level dynamic component to the same movement that we just performed. So the third exercise progression that I'm going to use here with Claire is called a box step off and landing. And we're essentially looking for the same qualities here that we were looking for in the first 2 exercises. Is she able to control knee valgus, and is she able to sit back against her body weight? Now, what makes this more difficult is the increased role that gravity plays. So initially here we have her stepping off a 12-inch box, working up later in the video to an 18-inch box, and we're able to see a more game-like situation, a more game-like landing situation, where she's not having to worry about actually jumping and creating force and pushing into the ground, but she is having to control, to appropriately control the forces that are acting on her as a result of a jump, just by stepping off the box and performing a nice soft landing, as we can see here in the video. So the final progression I want to go through here is called the jump with landing. So tying everything together from the last 3 exercises, now not only does she have to absorb forces during the landing, but she also has to create them on the front end with the jump. And obviously as a volleyball player you can see the direct carryover to her sport, but really this is essential movement language for any young athlete to learn. So whether it's jumping and landing like we see in the video, or if it's a field sports athlete who is sprinting and coming to a stop, or sprinting and changing direction, this is really important information from a movement mechanics standpoint for every youth athlete to learn in order to ensure knee health over the long run.